Good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 79 of Good Morning Xbox. I'm your host, Mr. NewfNukem. It's going to be a good show today. Hope you got your coffee and are ready to go. Just a couple of news and notes before I bring on board the panel. Axel can't be here with us this morning. He's feeling a little bit under the weather, but hopefully he'll be back with us next week. We got some news and announcements, which we'll get to as well in just a moment. But again, I want to say hello to the chat. You guys are phenomenal. We've got a dynamite guest lined up for you this morning. We will bring him in just a moment. I'm going to pull up my panel as the way they appear on screen. Back as always, we got CoolcatTerri. What's happening?
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastic, and let's have a great show today.
It is going to be a great show, and it's always a good show when Eternal Shaddai can make it. And here he is, live from Cell Block 22. What's going on, brother?
Good morning! Good morning! Good morning! Good morning!
Oh, Lord. He's in the straitjacket, guys. He's in the asylum section today. This is not good.
Good morning! Good morning! Good morning!
All right. It's always a good show as well when Scrub Nurse can be with us, bringing him in.
Hey, what's going on? Good to see y'all in the chat. It's a good morning. Got my coffee. Let's go.
And let's hope the cranky one is caffeinated. As always, here he is, CerebralPaul.
Way too much energy coming from that side of the room. Just keep it to yourself, man. Yeah, morning, whatever. Let's go.
And last but not least, let's bring in our esteemed guest who's making his first time appearance on Good Morning Xbox. I've been dying to get on a podcast with him for a while, or have him on one of my podcasts for a change. It is our great community supporter, host of Gaming Beyond the Box. Here he is, Wilmy Hood.
Oh, what's up, y'all? Is that background where you plan on burying CerebralPaul after the podcast?
Hey. You know, you're sitting right next to me. Keep your hands to yourself.
Oh, dude, don't worry about my hands. That's not what you need to worry about. It's the axe. Yeah. But I mean, there's like a lake and there's ducks and there's trees and shit. I mean, I think it's a perfect place to bury him.
Yeah, I do too. Well, it's very nice, very cerebral. Yes.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy that.
Wilmy knows many places to bury somebody. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
As we mentioned before, it's Wilmy's fault that I'm here at all. You all know, remember that. So.
Yeah, please quit reminding people, dude. I get enough hate mail as is.
I was going to say, with some of the comments I'm getting lately, I guess I might as well be buried, but hey, it's all good. I guess just let's get to the announcement. We'll leave it to you, Mr. Shaddai. I guess it's a good time as any to just kind of put it out there, because you sort of, kind of sent us a DM this week that kind of left us a little deflated, but what's happening, man?
Okay. Nothing next week. It will be my last day to be in Good Morning Xbox. An opportunity just popped up, and I took that opportunity to see where it goes, but doesn't mean for me, the end of Good Morning Xbox. No. So if that opportunity doesn't work quite well for me, so I'll try to come back if that opportunity is still open, and you'll see me back to Good Morning Xbox. As of right now, my last day will be next Sunday.
In the real world, we call that parole.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
That's okay. I'll take my shackles with me when that day comes.
Well played by Wilmy Hood. And can you guys see, this is why we have Wilmy, because him and Paul got that quick wit, So there you go.
The coffee is starting to work.
See, I knew he was going to put extra coffee on that thing.
I poured it on my keyboard, dude. It works.
Needed on these mornings. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's catch up with the chat real quick, because we got some amazing people in the house. As always, I heard the bark. Doggy Dog is in the building. Our good friend of the show, Dreadpool, hanging out with us this morning. We got Casket Repair, Jesse Darby, Talos Ray, Dizzy Delta. We've also got, who else here? We got Fastback is in the building this morning. What's going on, brother? And I think we're Kay Asante is here as well. What's going on? Got to get him on the show at some point, Kay Asante, since you're up and at him early in the morning. And I think we've just about caught up with everybody for the time being. So let's get right into the topic.
Wait. You got a super chat from Froggy Dog.
Oh, we do, yes. And that's kind of a given, isn't it? Super chat coming in hot. Here we go. CerebralPaul, you can do the honors.
Happy Sunday, new panel and chat with a bunch of emoji shit after that. So there you go.
There
a
you
bunch
go.
of emoji shit. Well put, Paul. Well put.
Thanks, Doggy Dog. You are the man. Dan White's in the building. What's happening, brother? All right. So, first of all, obviously a game that a lot of you have been playing, or at least some of you on the panel, and I see a ton of people playing it online, according to my social media feeds, and that is Dead Space. It is finally out, the remake of, I think it is, 2007's beloved classic, if my date serves me back correctly.
Dude, it's way back there, 15, 16 years.
Yeah, so I'm curious to those who played it and those of you in the chat, what are your impressions? I mean, the community seems to largely divided when it comes to remakes. Some people live for them. Some people couldn't care less. In this day and age, with games taking so long to come out, I guess there's really a place for them. Oh, you also got to remember that, with every generation of consoles, you have new players to the game scene who couldn't be bothered to go back and play, say, a back-compatible version or an older version. They live in the here and now, so these new games fill that void. And we also know that there's lots of people out there too who went out and bought a game like The Last of Us, which is already on its third version of the game in such a short period of time. So, like I said, I'm not here to roast them. Again, you speak with your wallet. If you don't like them, you don't buy them. Pretty simple. But look, it seems like Dead Space got the love and treatment it deserved. Especially aesthetically, this game now looks absolutely magnificent and runs pretty damn good, apparently. So who on the panel has had a chance to play it yet? I want to know what your impressions of Dead Space are. Who wants to start in here?
I played it.
Go ahead there. Go ahead.
I'll leave it there.
Is he going to be like this all morning? Because if he is, I need more coffee.
Yeah,
I'll leave it there. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
The stuttering, should I?
I'll be fine.
Go ahead, brother.
Yes, I have played Dead Space. A lot of changes. It looks beautiful. It seems like they added, I know it's called a remake because I know they added some other stuff into that game. Finally we get to see like Isaac, how it looks like. I know he looked weird on the 360 era, but this time finally is a little bit more polished, more detailed. But other than that, that game is really, really good. It's really, really good. I like it, and they did a great job. Motive, they actually did. They nailed it.
How about the mechanics? The play control, is it tightened up, or does it kind of just feel automatically like the old game?
Okay, when it comes to gameplay, you could actually switch to the modern. I know in the modern you run like Call of Duty. You press the analog stick and you just run. But when you go to your options, it actually gives you the option to have the gameplay for Dead Space 2, the gameplay for Dead Space 1. So you could have all those options that you like. It does have accessibility also in there. So they did add that one. So that's good for you, Paul.
Well, that's one thing I was going to say. A lot of these remakes, that's one thing they do is they go back and they add accessibility to the remakes.
And this one, they actually did.
Yeah.
In this one, they actually did. So other than that, it runs smooth. Like I said, it feels different. It's like it's the same game. It's common sense, the same game, but in a different way. Like they took it in a different direction. I just hope that a sequel is being made for this, because that game, they really did a good job. And on the old ones, usually you beat one area, then it will say, okay, chapter 1 completed, chapter 2 completed. On that one, it does not do that. It just goes straight. It will say, okay, chapter 1. You go to the next corridor, it will say chapter 2. You just go straight. There's no loading. You just keep going straight. So that's a really big plus.
So technology caught up to it.
Yeah. So really, it's really a good job. Good remake. I applaud them. Good job.
Do you think, based on its success, that we're likely to see that treatment given to perhaps number 2 and potentially 3?
A lot of people is asking for Dead Space 2 because I've seen it on Twitter. but for me, it does deserve that. When it goes to Dead Space 3, I just hope that they remove that co-op. I know a lot of people like that co-op thing, but I felt that Dead Space 3, by having the co-op, it removed the horror and essence and focused way too much on the co-op. I believe
all hate messages from co-op players can go to Eternal Shaddai on Twitter. Okay?
There's game. I'll repeat it, and I'm gonna make it clear in here. There are games that, yes, some deserve co-op, but when it comes to a horror like this, and it happened with Resident Evil 5 and 6, it kills the essence. And I'm like, nope. If you want to make it a co-op, just create something standalone or something separate. It doesn't belong there. It really doesn't, because it kills that horror essence. But I hope for a Dead Space 2 and a really good Dead Space 3, all, everything included. Good praise. I'm giving it good praise. Buy it if you can. If not, use your bank points. Do whatever you can. But that game is good. That game is really good. Well made.
And well said. Who else would like to jump in there and give it their take on Dead Space? Into the chat, if you have Dead Space or picked it up, put a 1. If you don't have it yet or plan on getting it, put a 2 in the chat. So 1 if you got it, and 2 if you plan to get it down the road here, or perhaps 3 if you just have no interest whatsoever. So who else has played it? Anybody else on the panel? Or are you just kind of waiting to get around to it? I know Wilmy said he has it and just hasn't gotten to it yet.
Yep, and I just, when I can afford it, I'll get it. But yeah.
That's okay. I played the old one and the new one, so I played 2 times.
Terry emphatically puts 3 in the chat multiple times.
Yes. See, that's the thing. I can't play the old one. I've tried multiple times, and I think it's chapter 4 where there's an asteroid shower. You got to shoot the asteroids before.
Yes.
I haven't ever been able to get past that point. That's what I'm hoping the accessibility allows for. So I've never seen beyond that point of the game, ever.
Yeah,
well, you're going to deal with that on this one. So.
Well, yeah, but I'm just hoping the accessibility choices make it easier for me to get past that point.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, obviously as well. Okay, since most of us can't talk on it if we haven't played it, and I certainly can't review the game. I mean, I did play the original Dead Space. I didn't go very far in the game, but I definitely enjoyed what I did play of it. And it's just one of those games that, I don't know, for whatever reason, it just kind of missed my target area. I've had a lot of games like that from the 360 era and onwards that just when they came out, I was playing some different stuff. I meant to go back to it and just never really did. Me and Maddie Burns kind of jumped into number 3. We never did finish that one off. Maddie, if you're listening, hopefully at some point we'll go back to it and hopefully finish that one up as well. I mean, what's kind of the difference here? Do you think this one as well is largely selling more or seems to get more traction because it is a known IP? People sort of know what they're getting into, because Callisto Protocol looks really, really well, but it's sort of, missed the mark in some areas, and it is the spiritual successor to a lot of degrees, considering it has many of the original team from the original Dead Space game. So, but, here, like I said, you got virtually the same game in many respects, but 2 games that are sort of divided them in the community. A lot of people said they like Callisto too, but what happened with Callisto? I mean, being a new IP, you'd think that there's sort of been more love, but it seems like obviously Dead Space is definitely getting way more of the better reviews. So is it just a mechanics thing, or where do you think one hit and the other one missed? Maybe Wilmy, maybe you could jump in on this one.
I think it's the control scheme, because I like Callisto. Don't get me wrong. There were some big misses with it because I got really tired. If you played the game, there's this 2-headed creature you have to keep killing, and you just don't kill this thing one time. It's like 5 or 6 times you have to fight the same creature over and over and over. The combat takes a lot of getting used to, because it's basically just stick and move. You kind of look like Axl Rose after a shot of heroin.
Snake dance.
There's a way to
yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to put it. If you've ever seen a Guns N' Roses music video, you kind of look like Axl Rose, and the game looked movements. Yeah, the game looked great, and just the combat took a lot of getting used to. Dead Space, you know what you're buying if you played the originals, but I think now everybody's into. There's more people wanting to stream horror games. And me, I'm all about the genre anyway. But you notice there's a lot more people streaming them just for the reactions.
Yeah.
But for me, Dead Space was a given because I have played the original so many times. But I think that's the biggest thing. And Callisto, they could have done a lot of things differently. But, I mean, it was their first game. So it really wasn't much worse than some of the other games I've played.
I'm going to bring up a good friend of the show, Mr. Sir X-Man. Wilmy, do you agree with his statement up on screen that you should not pay $70 for a brand new IP that has not proven itself? I think that's kind of, I don't know. I mean, in some cases, perhaps, but I don't necessarily agree.
Yeah, that's not how the market works.
Yeah, because see, I've got, unlike a lot of people that sit on these podcasts and just talk out their ass because their head doesn't know any better. My son is actually in the industry, and I know what kind of work he has to do. I know how many hours he has to pull, and I know how much it costs for his fucking education. These guys and girls, man, they spend over $100,000 just to go to college, to learn how to make these video games. So, I mean, and some companies doesn't pay very well because my son worked for EA for quite a while, and EA really didn't give a shit. They didn't pay very well. They wanted to put them all under a contract and all this and that. But I mean, game development takes a lot of time because I've seen him work months just on a few trees and a few bushes, to get it right. And it's going to be $70 regardless because the production cost. And think about how many employees they have to pay. Because each one of these people, I mean, they have to pay all these people working on that game.
Well, I guess it's no different than going to a movie. You go to a movie, you pay your, $12 to $15, and you don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes you walk in
if you're lucky,
the best $15 you've ever spent, or you walk out and go, God, that was a waste of money.
Yeah.
Games are much the same, I suppose.
Yeah, the movie just came out. Everybody's talking about Megan. Right. Some people love the game. I mean, the movie. And me, I paid $25 to watch this movie. I walked away from it unimpressed. I thought it was watered down. If you're going to make a Chucky movie, at least make it to where it's scary.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's had its good moments here and there, but I mean,
it was more memeable.
But Wilmy and I agree on one thing: horror movies are not meant to be PG-13.
They should never be PG-13 at all.
You want to be a suspense movie, be PG-13. You want to be horror, go for that hard R, baby.
Exactly. Show me something to get me excited. Make my nipples hard somehow or another.
We got to appeal to the younger audience because that's our demographic.
No.
But the same way with gaming, though. Like you said, Noof, it's not a whole lot different.
Yeah. I really do believe that there's a couple of things that work in Dead Space favor. One, it is a beloved IP that has been celebrated for years. And people have always talked about this game and wanting to play it, and nostalgia will kick in really, really big on that. To remake it, like you said, to fix it as far as with controls, and then not just be a remaster, a total remake of it, the visuals, the gameplay, the mechanics, all of that over again. Will either catch the people who've never played the game before, and then it'll always also catch the people who have played it before and want to see what it is and want to play it again. And that will draw in a lot of people. And to have a game that looks that great, it plays well, and they get their little horror. And like Wilmy said, a lot of people want to stream that stuff. People see that on the internet. You bring more you bring more people and more eyes to the game, which we didn't have back then when the original game came out. We didn't have the streaming and YouTube and Twitch and all that stuff for people to get more eyes on it. Gaming was not that big then. So for them to be able to do that, I think is making it so great why people are coming to it now, because you can do it two ways. You can do a remaster, and most games, you can sue me or not, most games that you remaster or you bring back from 15, 20 years ago, if you just update the graphics just a little bit, it still looks and plays like crap. Everybody
GoldenEye.
Guys, I said, everybody reminisces over GoldenEye, and it comes on the Game Pass and go, I'm jumping right back into where, and then you go, oh, it wasn't like this one. Yes, it was like that when you played it.
It was.
You know what though? It does. It plays well, but it looks really bad. It's hard to look at it for after a while.
Yeah.
It's really
you had
Well,
nothing
you know what
to
they say,
compare it to
nostalgia
back
is a hell of a
then.
drug.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, some of us may have had some bad drugs back in the day.
yeah.
So yeah, you're just used to something. I mean, it's like somebody who needs glasses and they've been half blind their whole life, and then you put a pair of glasses on and they go, oh wow, I didn't realize I couldn't see for the last 20 years. And that's kind of what you got when you're used to the modern shooters and different things of this nature. Now you go back to GoldenEye, you go, oh man, I logged in to show that I downloaded the game, and I'm going to put this back away. Dead Space is totally different right now. I haven't put my hands on it. Dead Space is a game that back in the day, I used to watch my friend play it when I was in nursing school coming out, and then I was just broke as hell. So certain games I did not buy. I loved watching it because it's a game that you can sit and watch, and it's like a little, like Wilmy said, a little horror movie, different things of that nature. But because of the controls and because I never played it in the beginning, a lot of horror video games is just not my bag. I will watch gameplay of them, but a lot of times I don't physically play them. But it looks fantastic. I watched about two hours of it, and it's pretty good. So for the folks who have a chance to get the game and they want to get the game, I say definitely go for it.
Nice. Any further thoughts here from Paul or CoolcatTerri? Doesn't sound like Terry's overly enthused about the game. But,
Okay, Terry, one question for you, Terry. Halo or Dead Space?
Okay, so I have not played this remake. I mean, I played Dead Space 1 and 3. I enjoyed 3 a lot. I hated the first one. I found the first one to be very boring. The controls were crap, and it was one of the most predictable games I ever played. You could not get scared in that game because you already knew they were going to jump out, and I streamed it, never playing it before. I was able to be like, okay, they're going to jump out right there. They jumped out right there. And I did that repeatedly through the game because that's how predictable it was. It was just not enjoyable at all. I do not understand why people call it a horror. Maybe the remake can get away with that, but the original was never a horror to me. It was just a thriller. It had its moments where I get used to, like, the suspense was there, but it was never a horror to me. And yeah, just based on that experience alone, I have no interest in playing the remake. I never found Dead Space to be that great of a series. It's just, I don't know. For me, it's always been one that
Blasphemy.
I've always found it to be one of the ones where, what's the word? I can't think of the right word, but I don't know. It's
very cerebral polish.
Hey, I'm going to take that as an insult. Okay,
that is exactly the way it was intended, sir.
I can't think of the word I want to use, but basically, it gets way more recognition than I think it deserves.
Overhyped. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, basically, yeah, overhyped. It's I don't know. They're decent games, but they're not. I don't know. Overhyped. People enjoy them. There's like this huge cult following for these games, and they're not that great. And when you think about cult followings, they're usually for TV shows that were never that great, and they usually got canceled within the first season, and then they get a cult following. That's how I feel about Dead Space. Is it wasn't that great, but because it went away, now people want to miss it.
I will say though too, New, and for anybody who's played, if you got a good pair of headphones, especially some noise canceling ones, or you can get some surround sound going, what they've done with the sound and with the echoes, the monsters, the explosions and stuff, it's definitely worth it to have a good pair of headphones.
Especially the babies, mutated babies. God,
I almost play all my games now with headphones on, Dolby Atmos and headphones, because
that's
the sound
definitely
quality in games now is just amazing, especially for games like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And horror games rely mostly on atmosphere, no different than a lot of the movies and stuff. It's all about atmosphere, and sound is a huge part of it. It puts you into the environment. So, yeah, no, totally agree with that. Paul, obviously, it's something. It sounds like a game that you like to get back into, especially now.
Yeah, because I've played 2 and I've enjoyed 2. But like I said, I wasn't able to play 1 at all past chapter 4.
Right.
So I'd like to see more of it, And from what I've seen of the new graphics and stuff, it looks really good. So it's on my. It'll be on my list.
See,
I was gonna say. Speaking about controls, I think hopefully the guy from the creator of Callisto Protocol looked at the reaction that people had. And hopefully one day they patch it and go, look, we've changed the controls a little bit. Because from what I understand, it's when you start dealing with multiple enemies in that game, it's a pain in the ass.
Right.
That's the way the battle works.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Because there's supposed to be a dodge mechanic in Callisto Protocol. I'm here to tell you, dude, I could not get that shit to work. I tried 3 different controllers. I'm like, it's not my controller. But it does have its issues.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing, and I guess the whole point was that they wanted it to be more visceral and up in your face, for the enemies in that game. But I mean, if one of your main mechanics is finicky at best, that's not a good way to go.
But you know what? I have a question. Do you think this is the year of the horror games again? Since later on we will have Resident Evil 4 Remake 2.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like Wilmy. I jump on those war games. I at least try them. It's like every time.
Because I am so sick of some of these cookie cutter copy and paste games that they've been releasing.
Yeah. I'll just go on record and say one of my biggest complaints with Dead Space overall, and I hated it through all 3 games, was the whole building the weapons, adding the parts. Didn't really care for that.
You're talking about inserting the nodes.
Yeah, like always having to put stuff on your weapons, advance and upgrade the weapons kind of deal. Like I don't know, man. When you're kind of in the thick of things, that's something I just don't care.
Well,
for.
remember, you're talking about
Well,
remember, you're in a ship that is all completely wrecked, so it actually does match with that, since you gotta find this node and that node, so you could actually upgrade it. Because I know then it's gonna be
just a basic shotgun and a fucking pistol. Like why do I, whatever.
Let's put it this way: do you like Resident Evil?
It's because you're in space.
No, do you like Resident Evil?
Yes.
Okay. Remember, on Resident Evil, you do put that little handle on your handgun. You do put some other stuff on your gun, so you shouldn't make any difference.
No,
like in Resident Evil 4, when you go to the guy, you could upgrade your weapon, and it's still good. So I think it shouldn't be too much of a difference between Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space when you're trying to upgrade your guns.
And plus, I found
it very different.
The difference though is Resident Evil. It's 100% optional. You don't really need to do it. You could play through the entire game with just melee if you wanted to, except for like certain parts where you might need an RPG. You don't need your guns in Resident Evil. Whereas Dead Space, if you don't upgrade your stuff, you're just gonna get obliterated.
I don't know. It feels kind of the same because I tried it with no upgrades and I beat the crap out of them with no problem. But there's some
you're gonna get swarmed. You're gonna get swarmed a lot more in Dead Space than you ever do in Resident Evil. You never get that swarmed. You know what I mean?
Enemies keep coming back until you fucking
especially the one with the shells. Yeah, you do need that extra damage to kill that monster with the shell. So yeah. Unless if you're like trigger happy, wasting your bullets just to kill that armor monster, whatever it is. So
Well, I guess we can all leave off with a consensus, though, that so far it seems like Dead Space is a hit. People seem to be enjoying it, and that's good. I mean, like I said, it's always a good thing. More games, the merrier. Even if it is an old game made new again, a new audience, and lots of fans going out and supporting it. So, that bodes well. I guess the only time it could be a bad thing is if remakes and remasters basically just overflow the industry, and that's all we start getting instead of like new IPs. But that's where it gets tricky, right? Because again, this is a remake, and it's getting lots of love. Callisto got lots of love for a week or so, and then kind of just crapped the bed. And now, I can almost guarantee you we'll probably see a remake of Dead Space 2. But as far as a Callisto Protocol 2, who knows?
It depends on, like I said, if he listens to the detractors and goes, "Yeah, we need to make that better." But I was going to say, as far as I've said it before on the show, with remakes, and preferably remakes, not remasters, I like 10 to 15-year-old games to be remade, because then if they're good, you're introducing them to a new generation of gamers. If they're deserving of it, don't do it just to do it.
So the sequel is going to be called Callisto Don't Call, because they're not going to make a remake.
And Padoom, you try.
Alrighty. Before we get right into let's move the needle along, because obviously our next topic is going to take us a little bit. We're going to talk about the Xbox Direct, but CoolcatTerri, I guess if you are ready, we might as well bring in the indie spotlight for today.
All right. All right, everybody. So I went ahead and I wanted to, find something because I try to jump between genres quite a bit when I do my spotlights, because I know not everybody likes the same genres. So this time around, this one is going to appeal to a lot more of you, I feel. So I hope you guys enjoy this one.
A new Borderlands?
All right, my friends. So, Gunfire Reborn, it's a roguelite first-person shooter. You go on a bunch of randomized adventure levels, and you can play through, and there's different RPG elements. You have different, animal hero characters you play with, and each one has their own unique abilities. So, kind of think more on the terms of, Overwatch. Each character has their own, different ability to them. You can do single player. You can do up to 4-player co-op. And just have fun. The game is available on PC, Xbox, your phone, Switch, the PlayStation. It's everywhere. It's $20, or you can get it right now on Game Pass. So go ahead, download it, try it, see if you like it. There's hundreds of different items in there and over 40 different types of weapons. And there's different scrolls and things, so you can change the play style of your character. So you can be like a gunslinger. You can be like an arcanist, different things like that. So, have some fun and design your character to the way you like to play.
So, Care Bears meets Borderlands.
Basically.
All right.
I would pay to see that. When the Care Bears copyright dies out, we need to do that.
Care Bear Stare, baby.
Hey, they used to have a game called Naughty Bear, if you guys remember that one.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love Naughty Bear.
Yeah. Oh man, awesome. Let's catch up with the chat here real quick. Another good look at Indie Spotlight, Gunfire Reborn, CoolcatTerri, thank you for that. Axeman 3008, what's happening? The Jenna is in the chat, a friendly pest here as well. We got Sir X-Man hanging out with us this morning. We've also got Toolman 55, K-Med is in the building, Dan the Man Cunningham is here. Speaking of Matty Burns earlier, he's in the chat as well. He's heading off to the football game today. Hope you have fun at that one, my friend. And Gone Mad is in the building. Apex.
Is going to the Niner game? Is he going to the Niner Philly game?
He did say the NFC, so I assume that's the one.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. We got JB Cash in the building. What's happening? Great crew here in the chat. As always, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, or leave comments if you're not fully satisfied with the show or things that you see on it. Like I said, we bring you our honest opinion each and every week. This is an Xbox-related show. We try to keep the rest of it out of here unless the topic applies.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought this was for PC gaming. Fuck, dude.
Send all critical responses to, again, Eternal Shaddai at...
Yeah, he's leaving the show after next week, so there you go.
Yeah, so send them all to him, yeah.
Or do like the rest of us, they just blame Paul. It's always his fault anyway.
Yeah, so what's funny is you blame me for crap on your show when I'm not even there. I know, get that.
That's the beauty of it. I can't blame Forza.
As he should. As he should.
Okay.
So it's a normal thing. I got it.
The Xbox Direct, it went down just a few days back, and the response so far has been, I'd say, overwhelmingly good. I'm just going to put out there that I did enjoy the show. I don't think it was amazing, but I did like a few things they did with it. First and foremost, they kept it direct. They didn't mess around. They didn't have a whole lot of filler. They didn't bore us to death with meaningless conversations from the developers who couldn't sounded like they got a an education in paint drawing or something like that. No, they kind of did a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but they did it in a really good way. I enjoyed it. Like I said, the pacing was good. We did see a couple of big things there, a couple of games that people are very excited for, and some stuff maybe it's not so much. So let's get the first one out of the way. They showed off the Elder Scrolls Online Necrom. Are there any Elder Scrolls Online fans here excited for this, or shall we move the needle here?
I mean, I'm a fan. I'm a fan, but I haven't played ESO in a while. I bought a whole bunch of expansions that I haven't even played. So
I have to agree.
One of those things. It's like I love ESO, and I play it. I play it on both PC and Xbox, and it's like as soon as I get going on one, then I kind of fall off, and then it's just I don't know. I kind of go back and forth. But like I haven't touched it in probably 2 years, maybe more.
Okay. Anybody else?
Wilmy was starting to say something. Go ahead, Wilmy.
No, I agree with Terry. I haven't played it.
Yeah.
The last time I played it was with my brother. Jesus Christ, that's like 5 years ago.
Well, yeah, one of the nice things they did is all the expansions, all 20 expansions, are free for now. If you want to try to get back into it, they did.
Exactly.
I think they're trying to pull people back into the player base, even though it's not doing too bad. The new class does look interesting to me. I will go back and check it out. But yeah, it's one of those games. It's a time sink. It really requires that's almost the only game you play, in order to really keep up with it.
That's MMOs in general.
Yeah,
MMOs, you had to put your whole life to that one game, and it's like I ain't about that life.
I did EverQuest for 6 years from launch until like 2006. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, Gone Mad sums it up perfectly. Life gets too busy to put all the time in.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. Those games are massive, and you either really like them, and like you said, you play them religiously, much like the World of Warcraft audience, or you just kind of, again, you don't have enough time to dedicate to them. So,
yep. And my problem is I like the solo stuff, and those games almost require that you group, and it's sometimes hard to get that group on there steady enough to where you can actually get stuff accomplished. So so I prefer if I can solo too, but I will go back and check it out. It looked good. The storyline looks good. The new they have a new combo ability they're adding that looks good to me. So yeah, I'll go back and check it out.
So since we all kind of feel pretty much the same in Elder Scrolls Online, which is, it was a nice little announcement, and it's definitely some fan service there done right. But at the end of the day, like I said, most of us have just there's just too many games and not enough time. So we're moving over We're going to move the needle from that one. Let's talk about potentially one of Microsoft's biggest game franchises, whether people want to admit it or not, and that is Minecraft. And they are back with a phenomenal looking, well, I shouldn't say it's an expansion. It's a whole new game, essentially, bringing multiplayer into it in a big way. It is called Minecraft Legends. Build your bases, fortify them, bring your teams in, fight off the piglets, I think they call them, or the pig something or another.
Piglins. Yeah, piglins.
Yeah.
Something like that. Piglins.
Yeah, the piglets are coming for you. The bacon's out to get you. Anyway, I thought
As
it was
always.
cool, but I thought
I
it
love
was
all my
cool.
police officers, sir. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I have to be a police officer in this days and age, especially what's going on. But anyway, that's a topic for another day or another type of podcast. Oh man, but anyway, like I said, if you're a Minecraft fan, there's plenty of reasons to be excited. If you're not really that big of a fan, which would be this guy right here, it didn't move the needle for me at all. So let's find out who thought what on this one. Wilmy, any thoughts on this new Minecraft, or this is just one you pass off to your little grandson and call it a day?
Dude, I wouldn't even make my grandson play Minecraft. Yeah, I wouldn't even. Yeah, I've got him playing Call of Duty. Why the hell does he want to play Minecraft?
I was gonna say he's set up. He's growing like a weed. He's
Like
set
a
up
good
ready to go
grandpa
over there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, dude. He's something, and he's already spoiled rotten for some odd reason. I can't imagine why.
Oh, I wonder why.
I wonder why with that warthog.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Not many kids got a warthog for Christmas. My grandson.
That's right.
That's awesome. Okay, so we know how Wilmy feels about it.
Mhm.
CoolcatTerri. What's your stance on the Minecraft showing?
I mean, I'm not a fan. It's just not for me. I'm not into base building or tower defense or anything like that. So no, hard pass.
Yeah, exactly. If I was going to base build, I'd play Fortnite.
Eternal Shaddai.
Look interesting, but it kind of fizzle out, and I'm like, no, hard pass for me too.
Yes, I think it's one of those games where it's good for the people who like this type of game. If you like base building, or if you're already in the Minecraft ecosystem, we got to realize that half of us or more of us are older than 40. So this is not a game.
Yeah, we're over 18
Tailored.
years old, so we're not going to play it.
Yeah. This game is not tailored to us. So there's a lot of kids that love Minecraft. So this could be just another way to get into the ecosystem. It kind of reminds me of a larger scale Clash of Clans, build your base, fight and stuff. If anybody remember that old cell phone game. Shout out King. I'm glad that
Somebody
they're
got a
trying
spam call in the background.
Yeah, I'm glad they're trying different stuff.
Somebody needs that extended car warranty. So
I don't know. What I have in mind is, will it have the same fate like the other Minecraft that they released, that it didn't last that long? Yeah.
What, Dungeons is very popular, dude. What are you talking about?
Oh no, I'm talking about nobody cares. I don't know who
Well,
it was
yeah,
popular. I never heard of
Dungeons.
I didn't hear anything that it was that popular. It only lasted that long. It was like it already was boring.
No, people still play it, dude. It's just it's a
people
different
still-
style of it's a different style of game. It's Minecraft in name only. It's a dungeon crawler.
well, I mean, you guys have to remember now they were letting kids play this game in schools.
Yeah.
You know, Minecraft is huge, whether we play it or
Oh.
not. It's a massive.
no,
idea.
it is huge.
Yeah.
You know, it's boxy. You know, it's just boxy. You know, imagine
Well,
Minecraft with actually graphics, not boxy.
No, they use it for educational purposes. They actually have a
Yeah,
whole
that's
wing of
true.
Minecraft that works on
Yeah,
that stuff.
and which is always funny because you get a lot of Xbox fans at some of these shows, and of course the groaning comes out when you see Minecraft, and I get it too. I'm one of those groaners, but I understand why they show it off, because
It's a
we
money
can't be
maker.
narrow-minded that there's
Mhm.
still a
See,
very
it
large
is.
True.
portion of their audience that just
Yeah.
loves Minecraft, and that's even the same as with mobile. You know, we dismiss it,
Yep.
but you can't deny that mobile is massive. And
Yeah, King
you know,
King is
and-
king.
and-
King
and
is
they got
king.
and they got to show it off, right?
Right.
You know,
And there's thousands of YouTube channels dedicated to nothing
Yep.
but Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yes.
exactly.
And I'm not into the building aspect of Minecraft. It's mostly what I don't like about it. But some of the stuff that people will take the time and build in Minecraft is amazing.
Astonishing.
I mean, some of the stuff they put together is is just utterly jaw dropping.
And I'm glad they have that type of free time.
Yeah, they have that type of free time, and for me, that they have that time of imagination where they can
look. I built Hogwarts. It only took me 487 hours.
Is that any different than people who do the same shit with Legos? I mean,
Exactly. Yeah. Thank God you can't step on a Minecraft block.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a lot worse than a Lego.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I like the fact that it's there because a lot of people go in these shows, oh, Sea of Thieves. Nobody plays Sea of Thieves. Why they keep showing
everybody
plays for Sea of Thieves? But you don't realize in the background that there are so many people, hundreds of thousands of people play Sea of Thieves. Just because we might not play it doesn't mean there are not a lot of other fans that.
Hey, I played Sea of Thieves for 30 minutes before I deleted it.
if you played Sea of Thieves
day
one, exactly when it dropped, which like I did, after a little while you're like, this is not for me. Some people it was, but it has gotten a lot better over the time. But it's just
it's changed a lot over the time.
No, I have it on my phone. That's because I wanted it to give it a try and to see what was.
I can't see playing Sea of Thieves on my phone. I really can't.
No, that's just like playing
on anything myself. But
well,
that's just like playing Vampire Survivors on your phone. I mean, it's not.
See, and that one I can't play anywhere. That one I can't. No.
So, Minecraft Legends, yes, a nice little homage for the fans of the series. Something different to play. Again, keeps extending the franchise and keeping it relevant, and of course trying to find new audiences within an old and tried and true IP. So good on them for that. Scrubners, before we kind of get into some of our next games, we got a big one coming up here, next part of this equation. Do you have any news and notes on the Game Pass front this week that you'd like to share with us?
Oh, yeah. We can definitely do some
Game Pass causes cancer.
Game Pass stuff. Mm-hmm. it's
That's why my liver doesn't work. Oh.
It's full of carbs.
Let's see. All right, here we go. We're pulling up the screen now. Hope everybody can see it. Let me know if you can or if you can't. I guess we can't see the screen.
It's up there.
No, we can't. It's up there.
Oh, okay. All right. So leaving soon real quick is Telling Lies, Drum Master, whatever. If these games intrigue you, go check them out before they're leaving soon. To me, these are not games that I'm like, oh yeah, you need to check out. But they are leaving pretty soon. Coming up, we got Age of Empires Definitive Edition on the 31st. Inkulanati 31st, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Star Battle. So there's a lot of people who are big into that game. So that's coming on 31st too. Grid Legends on the 2nd. Hot Wheels Unleashed February 7th. So these are games coming. Yeah. So this is a lot of stuff that is coming out. Yeah, Atomic Heart in February. So rounding out January, starting February before the next show. These are some games that you might want to check out that are coming out soon. Now I'm gonna go here. This is actually our Xbox not website, but on the Xbox app. This game right here, Hi-Fi Rush, just came out, shadow dropped. I know you've seen it all over.
I've never heard of it, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It's all over everywhere. This game is so much fun. If you ever get a chance to sit and play it, check it out. I'm loving it. I put some stuff on Twitter, even on my Twitch page. I put like the first 2 hours on it just so you can get an idea of how it plays, what's going on with it. It's a mix of different this from this genre, this from this genre. It's fun. It got good comedy. The gameplay is fantastic. You got the mix of the anime humor. As far as gameplay, it's basically everything set to a beat. So it's a beat 'em up game set to a beat. Some people, if you play Metal Hellsinger, it has some of those same kind of mechanics, but with just different style of music. It also has, You have your different characters that play with you as you go through the game. You get them and they help you fight, kind of something like of Guardians of the Galaxy. You'll add that into there. The way you can combo and add different stuff in and be able to get graded at the end will be something like Devil May Cry. So it has some of that stuff in there. You have your big boss fights, and they're fantastic. They're fun. I love them. I'm not a Souls person game, and this is not a Souls fight in these boss fights. But for somebody who doesn't play it, it's just it's that it hits that sweet spot of count and see when you need to dodge, when you need to block, when you need to attack, learn the different mechanism in there, and it goes good. So this is one of the games dropping from a Japanese studio. I think this was great how they sat and just shadow dropped it, and the game plays this well. If you want to talk Metacritic or OpenCritic or whatever scores, people are loving this game. So it's not just hype. This game is really fun. Check it out. We also got our Persona games right here as well. So there's
no games.
yeah. Like I said, Age of Empires just dropped, Mortar Shell. But if you hadn't played the Persona games, check those out as well. So there's a lot. There's a lot going on. There's a lot coming to there. So if you say, oh, there's a lot of people saying, hey, I can't pay for this. I can't afford this right now. I gotta wait to pay this. There is stuff to play. If you say there's nothing for you to play, you're not trying. You're not trying. So that's all I got as far as Game Pass.
That is true. You should be inundated and have the same problem that most of us do. The backlog is just growing.
I don't even mention backlogs anymore, dude.
Yeah, it's gotten to that point. Hey, it's almost caught up to your block. So there, Wilmy.
It's Steam definitely has, yeah.
Yeah, if you play it, that's the worst thing when you are literally a multi-console, platform owner user. Like you're just inundated. It's just like it's mind-blowing. I feel guilty. I feel bad. Sometimes I look at my little Switch over in the corner. It's like, I love you, you dear little thing, but I just don't have the time.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at my Steam Deck right now going, there's so many games I could just turn on and play, but yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the whole point where you get into a game, it's like I'm just restarting The Witcher, and then you go back and you realize how much shit you've forgotten, and you got to learn the schemes all over again. You're like, oh. The control schemes, and you got to figure out where you are in a story, and
that's how I felt when I went back to Dead Space and said it changed the whole gameplay.
First half an hour, you're just running around like, where did I leave? What's going on? I need a recap here. Oh man, crazy. Great stuff from Scrub Nerds. Go check it out. And again, that website is GamePassCounter.com, www.GamePassCounter.com. Correct, Scrub?
That's correct. That shows they keep a listing, like they showed them again, and there's over 500 games when you count up Game Pass PC, and then Cloud. It has it all sitting in there, so you can find whatever genre you want to. It's all broken up in there, from beat 'em ups to RPGs, MMOs, shooters, all that stuff. So check it out.
Absolutely. Should be time for Microsoft to upgrade their promo for that, where it just always don't they just still have has over 100 games?
100 plus. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I can't stand how they say 100 plus games when if they would just up the number.
I've said before they do that because it's a safe number, and depending on which platform you have, it may fluctuate. Some people are some people are just
200
on PC.
Some be a safe number.
Listen to Paul making sense. Holy shit!
It happens every once in a while. Well, I mean, just not on your show.
Somebody mark that on a calendar.
Yeah, if you just have Game Pass on PC, you wouldn't have 100 games, or it'd be really close. So it's one of those things where, yeah, I understand what they're saying, what they're trying to do, but look. PC has 427 games. Cloud has 350. Console games, 441. So for you to still say 100, even if you just only play PC, you'd be shortchanging how many games you play.
But people hear 100 plus and they look at the list and they go, holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I know people, they go, they're doing that because they take games away. I don't think they'll whole cloth pull 300 or 250 games all at one time. So I don't know.
No, and then they add more to it all the time too.
Exactly.
Well, segueing into, yes, perhaps one of the biggest announcements of the show, one that nobody saw coming, is Hi-Fi Rush from a little studio called Tango Softworks. You guys might know them from their work on The Evil Within 2, and most recently Ghostwire Tokyo. Yes, they dropped this little gem of a game, which according to the chat, lots of people are enjoying and playing, including the Jenna, our Rob, Jesse Darby. CoolcatTerri has not played it, surprisingly, and this kind of looks like a game that would have been right up her alley. Jesse Darby has it there. Dan the Man, Eternal Shaddai has been playing it. Crispy Rambo's playing it. Talus Ray's playing it. So we got a lot of ones, which means a lot of people are at least giving this game a shot. It's in the perfect place, apparently, and even according to people at Xbox and Tango, they said Game Pass was the perfect environment for a game like this because it does get a chance to spread its wings, get lots of attention. It's also getting really good review scores for the most part, which bodes really well for perhaps a new IP and a successor to this franchise. I mean, we're thinking way off here, but main thing is people are liking it. I haven't played it. I perhaps will down the road. Of course, why haven't I played it? Well, one, I don't have Game Pass. I know where this is going. But anyway, I don't have a Game Pass, and I don't even know how much it costs in the store. But I got a lot more money that I need to spend elsewhere right now. I got to save up for a damn PSVR 2. I was gonna have to take out a second mortgage for that. So yeah, but anyway, kudos to them. What can I say, guys? I mean, beautiful little gem of a game. Looks like it's a ton of fun. I do love the art style. They got that new little character 808, which I'm sure is now apparently going to be sort of a, quote unquote, sort of a mascot or a pinnacle. As we're moving forward, I suspect we haven't seen the last of that character and more. So, how do you guys feel about it? CoolcatTerri, I want to start with you simply because I said it looks like a game something that you would have probably enjoyed or would have been all over. So I want to find out how you felt about this shadow drop of this game.
No, the game looks fantastic. I do want to play it. It's just I don't get to play game from Wednesday through Saturday. I'm off the grid. I can't play any games at all. So it dropped, and then I couldn't play anything. So like today's my first day I can play games. So I've been looking forward to trying it out. So it definitely is fantastic, and I do like rhythm games. It just depends on the style that they do them in. But no, it looks fantastic. I'm llooking forward to it.
Did it totally catch you off guard? Did it big surprise to you because nobody saw this coming?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, yes, because I'm in the indie spaces and I follow a lot of games and I know about these games before you all start seeing advertisements for them. But this was one that I didn't even know about. So it definitely caught me off guard in that sense. But for them, just showcasing a game and dropping it, I didn't see that as to be that big of a surprise. There's usually at least something that they usually will have coming out relatively soon after an event like this. So that wasn't that shocking. It's just the game itself was shocking because I didn't even know about it. All right. So.
And isn't the weirdest thing a game that essentially came out and had no marketing because it was shadow drop now seems to have some sort of it's like a community marketing this game. You know what I mean? I'm seeing it everywhere. I don't remember seeing a game that was like this in my face in a long time. And this is from a game that again had no prior advertisements, no lead up, and sometimes perhaps they're onto something here. Just drop a game so nobody can trash it for 3 weeks leading up to its release and something like that. So maybe they're onto something here, especially for the smaller titles. Well, I'm thank God I call it right because if you looked at me and said, I think this game looks terrible, I'd be like, man, I must have read you wrong because it definitely looks like a game you'd be all over for sure.
Yes,
who else wants to jump in here on this one? Hi-Fi Rush. Who's been playing it and what's your impressions?
Me.
Go ahead, Shaddai.
Not me. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, not you?
No, I'm kidding. No, actually, I played it. It's really, really good. There's a lot of games like they took ideas from different games and just crunched them up in one game. Because my goodness, yes, it does have a Sunset Overdrive, Jet Set Radio. I had flashbacks. So, I mean, it came out with Street Fighter because when you fight enemies, it will say fight exactly like Street Fighter.
Should I say you had flashbacks? What have you been eating in that prison, dude?
Shrooms.
I can't say that that's a secret.
Toilet wine.
He's been inhaling too much. He's been inhaling too much of that mold. That's what
Yeah, pretty much. I got a lot of pores. No, but that game, it also reminded me of Guitar-Ru, man. That's a game that came out on the PSP. All rhythm games. Seriously, that game is really, really good. I wasn't expecting. Yes, it did surprise me, a game like that created, because that's something that I believe Microsoft was missing, something Japanese games into their portfolio. And I hope that they make another one. I wouldn't be surprised if I would rather say I wish for that game to be some type of franchise, because there's something in there very special. And to get that many praises, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a sequel for that game, because man, they have a really good ideas on that one. The only thing that bothers me is that 2-button smashing, especially for combos, X X Y Y and X Y X X X. I'm like, man, use B.
That's not button smashing.
There's an accessibility setting for that, by the way.
Because because I'm like, God, geez, make it, X Y A B something like that, but don't go X Y X X X X. Oh no, don't.
Hey,
it reminds me of when I play El Shaddai. It's only 2 buttons. You got your light for X and your heavy for Y. I'm like, no.
Shaddai, have you gone through the combo list? It's more than XX, and it's
believe me. I'll give you one. Move to the right and press B for parry.
Mm-hmm.
No.
How many hours you have in the game? First of all,
5 hours.
Okay, then how many bosses have you beat yet? That mean what?
2.
About 2 or 3?
2.
Yeah,
so that means I got 4
way
more
in depth. There's so much stuff that gets unlocked for your combos, and the combos that you have to. If you don't purchase any of the combos, which you don't have to pay for when I say purchase, but you get these in-game cogs and coins to purchase to get more combos in hand. So yeah, your main your main attack buttons are B and X, but then you add in your dashes, you add in this extra stuff. So now you might have a combo that you like and you keep using over and over, but there's 20 plus different combos you can use along with, you have to go along with the beat to do that. So to me, it's not button mashing. It's not where somebody who's playing Street Fighter and don't know how to play and they just keep hitting random stuff 24/7. If you keep hitting random stuff 24/7 in this game, you will lose very quickly. So
and if anybody knows about beats, it's Scrub Nurse, who is our resident drummer. So there you go.
Yeah, so maybe that's why I really like it as much, but you have to really be in tune with it. But you don't have to be a person that just knows timing and feeling, oh, I just know music so well. It's not like that. They even have a help counter at the bottom to help you stay on beat. 808 blinks right next to you to help you stay on beat. There's a lot of different things. 808 is the cat for anybody who wants to know. It kind of reminds me of the cat in Sailor Moon. So
I found the beat counter on the bottom is actually more useful to me than the timing bar that they show you.
Right.
That's actually true. But still, probably you're right on that one. But I already purchased all the main characters' moves. I think I'm only missing one, but I have all of them. But the only thing that I see is blue button, yellow button, blue button, yellow button, blue. I'm like, God, geez, I don't like this 2-button thing. I wish there was some type of combination with the A and the B. But I know the A is for jumping, so
A is for jumping. Yes.
Whereas
some of
I get that. I get that. I got that. So
some of us prefer fewer buttons. Some of us prefer fewer buttons. Indeed. It makes it easier.
When you get on the floor,
I understand that, but it reminds me, like, when I play Ninja Gaiden, at least it was a little bit more of a difference. I felt like I pressed something different, because sometimes when I'm trying to lift one of my enemies, I press the X, A, and and the Y button, so I could do something different. But
Yeah, when
that
you
one,
get
it was
to
more
more-
of a X, X, Y, Y, that type.
When you get to a floor with more enemies on there, you have people that are shooting at you while you're trying to XX and YY. So you have to block or you lose your combo. So right in the middle of a combo,
That's
you
true.
might have
That's
to
true.
jump and block. And then you might have to dash, which is your what button? Your RB button. So we've just right there named 5 buttons right there. When you
But
add
that's just dashing.
That's another button. When you add in,
Yeah,
when
but
you're
using it for
fighting,
attack,
listen,
not for dodging. I'm talking about like for attacks.
what's your right trigger for? When you're in the middle of a combo and you want to do that beat, that final beat, you add in one of your team players.
That actually feels like Mega Man, though.
On the last one,
like Mega Man.
You hit the right trigger on that last one, and then you do a mega combo. So that's another button and a combo of fighting. So you
we're not talking about. You're talking about assist. Like, okay, that button is only for assistance,
but it's in
not for something.
It's in combat. It's in combat.
But I don't.
You don't use that other in combat. If you use the right trigger when you're not in combat, it doesn't do anything for you.
I'd rather have it like for me to actually do it, not to press just one button just to get an assistance.
What?
Okay.
Okay, there, boys. We don't need an in-game tutorial on how to play high.
No. No, I know what Scrub is saying. I understand what he's saying.
Let's catch up with the chat real quick, because without the chat, this podcast would not exist. So thank you guys so much. We got amazing people here this morning. Happy Cloud Gamer is in the chat, and he did bring that up. Yes, we still acknowledge the chat, and I will continue to do so for as long as I certainly can. Yes, I understand that at some point a lot of podcasts outgrow themselves to a certain degree, but honestly, again, we're all here for the same reason, and without you,
because we all hate Paul.
I mean, I ain't getting up.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Right?
That's why I'm here. Yeah.
I do this podcast at 7 o'clock in the morning for you guys, because you're just amazing. Jesse Darby's here with us. Splendiferous in the house. What's going on, brother? Good to see you here. General Spartan's hanging out with us. Timmy is in the building. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. We got Harry Balzac. What's going on, my brother? Danaman Cunningham as well. The Jenna's hanging out with us. Jason Max is in the building. He always comes in. Every time he's in the chat, he's got the same quote. He goes, "Just remember, Xbox is number one." And so on and so forth. You guys are amazing. No, seriously. You're awesome. Thank you for obviously waking up and in the morning being here live. And for those of you who can't catch this live, I appreciate you watching this on the replay, sharing it out, showing some love to this incredible panel. As I've always said in the past, if you don't like me, that matters not. But as long as you like the rest of the panel who come out to be with me, they do it because this is something they love, not because they're getting paid or anything else. So just keep that in mind.
I thought there would be hookers and cocaine.
Wait, hold on.
God.
Yeah.
You guys aren't getting paid? Just me?
Yeah, just you. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
well, I got to pay the smooth talking guys, right?
Thank you.
And I was going to point out that, yes, the whole chat is cool except for you and you. And if you think I'm talking about you, I probably am. So there you go. So,
there you go.
That's funny. They said the same thing about the panel, except they named you.
I'm talking about you. Somebody's on the channel actually named you. That would be funny. I'm talking about you.
That can be done.
Yeah, that can be done. Let's leave it to Wilmy. He'll find a guy out there. His name is you. Huh?
I can always create an account.
G Wang. Huh? Yeah, that's how it's done nowadays. Isn't all these sock accounts and all the rest of that crap? I've got the one. That's it, baby. I couldn't be bothered.
Yours would be a crusty sock account. Yours would be a crusty sock account. But...
It probably would be. I didn't know that. Let's a few more people because we want to keep moving this along. We could stay here for a while on a Hi-Fi Rush. Wilmy, how about yourself, man? Curious to know. Big surprise. Where does this fall on the radar of things? And is it just again another huge boost for Game Pass?
Oh, Wilmy's evil laughter. Wilmy's evil laughter.
You're not gonna like my take on it. I was hoping for an Evil Within 3.
Okay.
Or at least something. I wanted another horror game from them.
Right.
I don't do anime, and I really don't care about rhythm type games.
Mm-hmm.
So it really didn't thrill me at all. It didn't move the needle, as you say.
Mm-hmm.
But I did download it. I will play it eventually because Game Pass. But I really could care less about it. It looked interesting, but just not my thing.
Fair enough. I like it. Quick and to the point. Just not his bag. And it's not really my bag either. Like I said, that's why I'm not rushing out to buy it right away. But how about you, CerebralPaul? Is it your bag?
I started it a little bit. It looks to be more of a platformer than I may be able to handle, but I'm going to find out tomorrow because I didn't even get very far before I went, you know what? I'm going to wait till I'm actually trying to do this on my show, because I found if I try to play a game before I do my highlighted show on the Ambassador channel and I don't like it, I can't bring any energy to the show. Like, ah, crap. You know, so I'm going to hold.
You have energy?
Every once in a while. Every once in a while. Dear God.
That moved the needle because that surprised the shit out of me.
You know, if you keep giving me crap on this show, Noob's going to want you back every week because these other guys can't keep up. So, you know.
Oh, dude.
Wilmy, you know, when he shits himself, he does force himself out of the chair, right?
That's true, yeah.
Hey, I actually messaged Paul back in June. When I got out of the hospital, I was stuck in a wheelchair for a few weeks, and I was like, Paul, I don't know how the fuck you do it, dude.
Yeah.
You know, it drove me crazy for just 3 weeks. So I couldn't imagine.
You've experienced and realized, the kind of thing that you can kind of put yourself in my shoes now, which is a wake up call. You know.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, trying to do anything in my own house, and you know, it just.
Because now you're one of the few who can finally go, God, now I know why he gets so frustrated sometimes at what it seems to be an easy thing.
You're like, coverage too high, not enough room. That's when you figure out how much life really does not cater to people that have to use a chair.
Exactly, because I mean, my own house, dude, I couldn't reach anything in my cabinets. You know, I couldn't reach anything in my own refrigerator, for fuck's sake. You know, and then trying to maneuver around my house, I was like, Jesus. So
especially because it was your arm that was affected also, right?
Oh no, dude, I'd laid in the hospital bed for so long I couldn't walk.
Well, yeah, but I mean, wasn't that when they operated on your arm as well?
No, that was after.
Oh,
they did that.
Okay, like I lose track of all the times you go to the hospital.
But it just I totally knew where Paul came from. I came home in a wheelchair and spent like 3 weeks in one. So it was not good.
Yep. And I think I even kept telling you, you know, take it slow, even though you wanted to hurry up and be done. I'm like, don't do that. Yeah.
That would actually be cool. I think that would be a great character for one of these video games where you have a shooter and the person's actually in a wheelchair and he's got like guns mounted onto the chair.
I've suggested it. I've suggested it a few times.
Yeah, that's right. Wolfenstein. The last one had that segment in the first part where Blazkowicz was in the chair. That was hilarious.
Also, have you? I've been playing the new Tales from the Borderlands, and one of the characters is a cranky old lady in a wheelchair, and she is my spirit animal. Okay,
they need to put one in a fighting game too now, Paul's, and be like in a chair like you've got on your avatar, you know, a little turbo booster, and you're just running people over. That'd be your special move. It's like the turbo, and you just flatten people.
Yep.
Yeah, remember that Burger King game back in the day with the kids? It had that one kid that was in a wheelchair.
Remember the movie, the Stephen King movie? Was had the werewolf and the kid was in a wheelchair.
Silver Bullet?
Silver Bullet, that's it. And he put the car engine on the wheelchair.
That's actually the impetus behind my avatar is because Lemon kept referring to me as Silver Bullet. So that's what Graphic God did. Yeah.
There you go.
Let's see, Gina, what are you saying in the chat? One of the guys last year about accessibility telling me I shouldn't play games. Yeah, had a stroke. Now complains about accessibility in gaming. I've tried to tell people, you know, the people who are, you know, that it could be you one of these days, and
it can happen to anybody at any time.
Yep.
I see it every day.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
No, that's true.
I'm here to tell you, dude, when I got home from the hospital, all I wanted to do was play a game, but I wasn't able.
Yeah.
So.
No, we're all famous for taking life for granted, let me tell you.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I did, like I said, I hit a part where I can tell some of the timed platforming where you have to jump on the platforms before they go back in and out and all that. It's going to drive me batty. I'm going to be doing things. I'm probably going to get censored off of the Ambassador channel by the end of my stream tomorrow.
They have some more difficult parts toward the end.
Dear God.
It might just depends on how long you're streaming. If you're streaming for an hour or two, it's
only going to be
as
2 hours.
bad.
Yeah, it's only going to be 2 hours.
It's the first 2 hours. It's not as bad. It's not as bad.
But
it is some difficult platforming in there toward the end.
Yeah. So
all right,
we'll see.
Let's just end off and say, guys, Hi-Fi Rush, it's a hit. It's well-deserved. Again, it just shows you the diversity of a studio like Tango Softworks and another gem and the feather in the cap for Xbox Studios and picking up
And they
that
needed one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how can you complain? And honestly, the only people I've really seen any, adverse talk about this game really are just from people that are, honest to God, they're video game turnips, in my opinion. It just two brain cells and a fart. I mean, how can you complain about something like this that shines a light on the industry, and it's just a huge boom? And I think we'll see more of this in Game Pass in the future. I think it depends on how well it goes, and it seems like it's been well received. And it also helps that, it is a solid game that is getting some love. So that's good. That's good on them. So kudos for that Shadow Drop Hi-Fi Rush. Sorry, go play it. It is in Game Pass if you're not acquainted already. Let's move on to the big one from the show. Now, this one is big depending on how you feel about the genre. I'm talking about racing games, and we're talking about Forza, and we're talking about its illustrious return. It has been a long time since we've graced the ovals and tracks of Forza Motorsport 7. Now, unless you're absolutely, unless you definitely need to get new glasses, this game looks unbelievable. My God. And anyone who says otherwise, I don't know. I don't know. I really have no words. But this one left
an eye appointment.
Yeah, schedule the eye appointment, because, man. And just when they said something like this game has more physics stuff running in through the engine than 3 of their last games combined, tells you that, they've reworked, overhauled, and are putting some serious mojo into this game engine. Let me tell you, Forza has been wearing the crown for a few years now, and it looks like they're not intent on losing it. So 500 cars, 20 plus tracks, I do believe. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot more to come through Game Pass and downward expansion. So how do you guys feel about Forza Motorsport? I'm going to start with CoolcatTerri, simply because, well, she's a lady who likes to get underneath the hood of her own car. We know she's a big fan of racers. So, Terri, did this one get you pumped?
No, because it's motorsport. I've said multiple times, I'm an arcade racer. I'm not into simulation. But as for cars, I mean, motorsport, Forza in general, they always do a great job with the designing of the cars, all of the sound effects for the cars. They differentiate them very well to be as accurate as they can get them. So, I mean, overall, they do a great job design-wise. It's just, I don't play simulation racers, so I couldn't care less if the game ever came out. So, but to those of you who loved simulation racers, this is going to be a great one for you.
Okay, a little bit of a different response, but I did forget that, she's more into the arcade style of things and not sort of the sim aspect. Let's start with Scrub Nerds. Scrub, I know you like a racer from time to time. How did you feel about Forza Motorsport?
Well, since I'm coming off the back of CoolcatTerri, I like arcade racers as well. I'm not as big into the sim of before each race. What is the temperature? Let me check my tire pressure. What is this? Let me hit my brakes every 5 seconds so I won't get that one little scratch on the car that's going to slow me down, or this. I love what it is for. I love to see people play it. I love to see the visuals, what the game is for. Is this a game that I'm going to download and load up? Yes. But what I'm not going to play is the PvE or PvP aspect. I'll play the story mode, where I'm just going in and just playing that. But even then, I'm going to have to put in some extra work on learning what to do in this and this. I've always been the person who plays the Horizon games or, the Need for Speed games, type of stuff like that. So, but I am excited for it. What they showed this week, I think it's fantastic. And even then, it's just a slice of what it really will look like on the game, because bit rates and all this other stuff, you're never going to get the full thing until it's right in front of your face with a good TV, maxed out PC, or your Series X. So I'm really giddy just to see what it looks like. But as far as the sim racer and I have to do this so I can go online and race, that's not me. I just want to see what kind of quality that they can put out, which they do every time. So that's more what I'm looking at, is how good this game's going to look.
Right. Well, it's definitely going to be a visual showcase. There's no question about it. I'm curious just to see kind of what they do with the Xbox Series S sort of version of the game. I'm sure they're targeting the 60, so I guess it's going to come down to the resolution, right? Because I think these racers should run at 60 all the time.
They said 4K 60 with ray tracing. So,
even for the Series S?
Oh, I don't know about the Series S, but yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, they did say it for the X. I'm not sure about the S yet.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can understand it for the X. I'm not quite sure with the S. So, but I'd be curious. As long as I said they hit the 60 frames, I don't think anybody really gonna get upset. There's ray tracing or a few different things are kind of turned off. But, let's move to CerebralPaul on this one next, because Paul, I know you like racers. It's one of those few genres of games that definitely feel a little more natural to you, I guess, overall. And you're pretty good at them. I'll give you that. I've played you enough in various different ones, and you hold your.
I'm good at them when they have the accessibility options, which this one should. So, I actually prefer Motorsport to Horizon, because I like track racing. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily get into all the minutia of, tire compound and all that stuff, when I'm just playing, but I can if I really have to.
Right.
But I just prefer. It's easier for me to, even without the accessibility, it's easy for me to control the car if I'm on a track compared to if I'm bouncing up and down, all over the mountainside in Mexico. So I'm looking forward to it. It looks beautiful. I mean, and when they show you some of the cars wrecking and flipping and just dust and grime everywhere, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it in action.
Yeah,
you're playing NASCAR, left turn. Yeah, your controller needs to just go left in NASCAR. So,
yeah, I'm curious to see.
That shows how little you know about NASCAR, because they have plenty of tracks.
I know.
So, like, that's like.
But that's still the gag is that a lot of NASCAR tracks are basically left turn only.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see the next evolution of damage modeling in this game. Obviously, they talked about stuff. I can't remember all the fancy tech, but I mean, how like dirt will stick to a various part of the car depending on the environment.
Right.
And I think that's very impressive. I mean, those are little things that probably the average person wouldn't notice, but I'm sure for diehards of the Forza Motorsport series, it's going to be in the little details, because at the end of the day, I mean, pretty much every racing game that comes out nowadays, I wouldn't say is bad. It's not like. Well, you look at a racing game and go, "Oh my God, it just looks horrible." There's different variants, but they're all starting to look pretty damn good.
It's with the things like the reason the dirt and where it settles on the car, because it makes it look more realistic. And it's not a matter of just having to be a racer. The more it draws you into the game, and you're like, "Holy crap, that looks real." Even like they've said, all the cars aren't necessarily going to scratch in the same place. They're not necessarily going to get damaged in the same place like they currently do in most games. Each one is going to be individual to each car. So,
absolutely.
So, I mean, they said they built this from the ground up. You'll have to excuse the dog. My food got here. I can tell because the dogs are going nuts. Thank you. Yeah, I'm aware. They run back to the back of the house to tell me the food is
here. Hey, Newtonian is in the chat. What's going on, brother? Welcome to Good Morning Xbox. Good to see you in the chat. Thanks for your support as always, and the kind words and stuff you've left me on Twitter as well.
Oh, nice.
I'm
looking forward to it. But I'm gonna go grab my food real quick.
Go get your food. Ice Queen Gaming is in the house. We're gonna hear from Shaddai, and then finally from Wilmy. Shaddai, does this one get you excited? Is it the return to form? Is it the game that you've been waiting for?
I am not into racing. I found them.
Louise, Wilmy, can we start smacking these guys?
No, the
Well,
last
he's already in
time.
a straight jacket, so
I wish somebody would smack me.
Was
that's because you're Southern. You're sitting there going, "I wish a motherfucker would."
Exactly.
No,
I'm not Southern. I'm from New Jersey. If you can't tell by the accent.
No, the last time I played Forza Motorsports was 6. That was my last time. So this one, the only thing that interests me was because they do a great job. The physics, graphics, everything. They want to make it as realistic as possible, and they're really well known for those things. It just is not for me because I don't want to keep lap 1 a circle, lap 2 a circle. I don't do anything. I can't even shoot anything, from my car. I cannot pop any tire from my car. I can't do anything without my car. You just go to the pit, change the tires, and go back. So
most prisons have auto shop. You could have been learning all this time. I mean,
I don't know where you live, Eternal, but where I live, there's this thing called Civilization, and it's against the law to do a lot of that stuff you're talking about.
I don't know, but I know there's a game called Mechanic Simulation, so that should be good enough. So I really don't need Forza for that. I just go for, if I want to fix cars and make my car run a little bit faster and all that, I'd rather play Mechanic Simulation for that.
You really don't fix the car. You just press a button, right?
See, there you go. See, making it easier.
You just hit a button and then you race.
See, or just make a combo just to place the tire, then screw it back on. X, Y, Y. You know what I mean? Screw it back on, and then you press the A, and you just start running back.
Well, the beauty that's the beauty though with Forza. I mean, over the years, Forza has become a lot more accessible than it ever has. They've given you tons of options to turn on and turn off, so you can limit the amount of simulation elements to the game, which is a beauty. So if you wanted to feel more like an arcade racer, again, just adjust your settings accordingly. Or if you really want to get the most out of your car, there's lots of people out there who've got tons of videos where they literally have their setups like already advertised on YouTube, or you can go to lots of forums and they'll kind of tell you, from the real car tuning aficionados that literally will spend a half an hour just tweaking things to perfection, and those are usually the guys that smoke you when you get into some of those multiplayer matches. You're like,
the only time I hate those guys is when it's my friend that says, "Hey, let's play some races," and you get in with them, and that's what they want to do, and it's like, dude, come on, I've been watching you do this shit for 40 minutes. Let's go.
Oh, just 1 second. I gotta switch the ride suspension here, and I gotta calibrate my my tires and my braking and my gear ratios. And you're just like,
I'm gonna feel like CoolcatTerri. I'm like, I gotta go to the pit. I gotta change those hoses. They're full of oil. So you know what?
Yeah. I've always wanted to do one. I still haven't done. I think they've done it for the community game nights some nights where they turn on a lot of the sim aspects and they do the really long race where you literally have to go to the pit and manage your gas and everything. That would be kind of cool. I'd like to actually do that some night, but that might take a couple hours. But yeah,
it won't. Might it will. Especially trying to line up that many people. Yeah, they'll be a long night.
I've done that with NASCAR games. You have to fill up a gas. You got to replace your tires, and it takes a long time.
Yeah, we do that. We do that on game nights. Usually, it's the last race of the night when we choose.
And do you say to yourself, Terri, as you're doing that, you go, Jesus, how do these real race car drivers actually do it? Sit there on a track for over an hour, and
I wouldn't want to be a real race car driver. The amount of endurance they have to have, to sit there that long, and then because they're going those speeds and stuff, like the muscles get all tight, and the G-force, people, talk a lot of smack because they don't do. But it's very grueling and exhausting on the body.
I hate to break it to you, Scrub. They just pee. Okay, there's no have to.
Did that ever happen in a race where someone literally had to go to the pits because they had the shits? That would be kind of funny.
Well, they gotta carry a bag, right? I bet they gotta have some type of bag.
Unless you work in Amazon distribution center, how many jobs where you can't just get up and go to the bathroom and come back? So that's what I'm saying. I know they please themselves, but I'm just saying. It's just one of those things, along with the endurance, along with the heat, people go, oh, what do you mean it's so grueling? How many people like to drive, 7 hours anywhere? Just imagine how many hours they are driving 500 miles, whatever course they are at 100 plus miles an hour, and then not hitting anything. You lose one lapse of judgment, you're in the wall. So it's very grueling on these people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and most people can't even drive to the corner without putting their AC on. So come on.
Yeah.
And
just the vibration alone. The vibration alone would be telling my kidney be telling me to fuck off. I'm sorry,
Okay, we're getting pretty close to the end of the show, and we still got at least one more game to talk about. So let's move right along. We're going to get to Wilmy Hood first with his thoughts on Forza. I'm just going to say I can't wait for the game. It looks amazing. I'm sure Turn 10 is going to do an amazing job. I was a little shocked that Dan Greenwald wasn't the guy doing the representation, because normally he's always the guy that kind of does the talking for the company. Did he leave or something, or did he just pick somebody else? It's kind of weird.
Probably he's only for the big events, E3s and all that.
Yeah, but he's normally always the face of the franchise. Like whenever he's at an E3, it's Dan Greenwald that usually comes in. The guy, the tall white guy with the kind of bit of a deep voice, But
look at my muffler.
But any which way, I'm going to say the only thing I hope that at some point they add to either Forza Motorsport or they add to at least Forza Horizon is motorcycles. I think that would be a cool addition to the game. It's more likely to happen in Forza Horizon
or ATVs.
Motorsport.
I'll take it.
But yeah, something like that I think would mix it up a little bit and give a little more longevity to a game and sort of please those other fans of the two-wheeled aspect. Certainly, so a guy like myself. Wilmy. Forza Motorsport, where does this land on your radar, my friend?
I was really impressed with what they showed. It looks really well, and the reflections on the vehicles and everything I thought was really cool. But if you're racing, how much time are you gonna get to spend looking at it? But I'm not huge into the racers, except for the Horizon series, because I just get a kick out of playing those. But I'm definitely going to play this one because why? Game Pass. So I'll definitely give it a shot, and hell, who knows? I may actually start to enjoy it because as you age, your tasting games change anyway.
Well, let me ask you this, Wilmy. When this game was announced, there was a mysterious drop of the number in the title. So I want to know, do you think that this is potentially the last Forza as we know it, and this game will now just become a base model, and all the content moving forward will just be added through Game Pass, basically the game as a service model? Do you think that's potentially what they're aiming for here? Because I'm getting that feeling.
I don't know. I don't think it'll be the last one. I really don't, because it's one of their huge franchises. A lot of people play nothing but Forza. Just like you got people that only play Call of Duty. So I don't think it'll be their last one. I think that may be more of a hint towards the release.
Right. Yeah, because we saw, like I said, I know you're not a big fan, but we saw how a game like Sea of Thieves came out, and I thought it'd be kind of like a one and done kind of deal where they make this game and then they move on. But now this game has got like seasons and shit, and it's just like, so I'm like, I guess we'll never see an official sequel to Sea of Thieves. You know what I mean?
Don't confuse it with Skull and Bones. They just show it and then disappear.
Don't get Terri worked up.
That game pops up and just goes away every few months.
Pretty much.
Yeah, well, that's what they're going to have at the studio over Skull and Bones by the time this game comes out. It's going to show a picture, those memes where the guy's sitting in the wheelchair, he's just like a skeleton.
If Ubisoft keeps going the way they're going, there's not going to be anything to worry about anyway.
Yeah,
look, I can't say much because of NDA, but I am playing Skull and Bones today, so screw that. All right.
Oh, you got into the beta or whatever? Oh, nice.
So
nice.
Well deserved, Terri. Well played.
So. Ha!
All right. Okay, well, that's something. At least Terri gets a little dabble with it anyway.
I get a little taste until I have to wait another 10 years.
No wonder she was really quiet.
Yeah, mute her. Don't let her mess up. Don't mess up. Don't say anything.
You're gonna go to start the game. It's gonna disappear.
Hey, don't say anything.
Oh, shit. Okay, last but not least, let's get down to the final game that was shown on this show. It's a game that's been hyped and shown off several times in the past, but we are now just several months away from release. It comes out, I do believe, was it May 3rd?
Yes.
So May 3rd,
Yes.
mark it on your
Yes,
calendar.
sir.
That's one of the
Yes,
best things
sir.
about this show. They actually finally gave us some release dates, something to look forward to and just saying it's coming, which, of course, was the disappointing part about Forza. They just said it is coming out this year. We just don't know when. My speculation, Forza drops either at the end of the summer or early fall, but several months out. Either which way, they're going to make sure that it kind of probably doesn't land on top of one of their other big Game Pass announcements. So, but anyway, Redfall looks pretty damn good. I'm not 100% sold on it. I'm just going to put my opinion out there right away. I will definitely probably try the game at some point, but again, I'm not into Game Pass, so I won't be in there on day one, and that's where it concerns me, because by the time I pick it up, perhaps physical copy or on sale, will any of my friends even care about this game? And that's where I'll leave it at that. But it does look really cool. The guns look amazing. It's vampires. And a lot of people saying it's Left 4 Dead. If you watch the video, it might remind you of it, but it's definitely that's not what they're going for.
Not Left 4 Dead.
Yeah,
not Left.
So, but it is 4-player co-op, which is also amazing. It is 4-player, right?
Yes.
Yes.
By option. By option, you can also solo.
Yep. And you can play. Yes, they designed a campaign, so it actually works really well on your own as well. So that's really cool. So. Who's really excited for this one? I just kind of gave you what I thought. My needle is in the middle on this one. I definitely want to try it, but it's not something that I went, oh my God, So I'm going to start with Wilmy since he's jumped in. Wilmy, take us through Redfall and where you expect this game is going to land for you.
Dude, I'm playing it day one. I've been waiting for this game for a while. The 4-player co-op just makes it even better. To take on all these huge vampires and everything in the Borderlands style, what's there not to like? I mean, it'll be something different.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just looking forward to it, dude, and getting 3 people together and going to kill some bloodsuckers.
Yes, just don't do what Back 4 Blood did, right?
Yeah. I mean, the bad part, dude, I played the demo for Back 4 Blood more than I actually played the real game when it released. Matter of fact, I don't even think I've played it since it released. That's the sad part.
Yeah. I remember playing Back 4 Blood, but Paul and a few other guys, and while it was fun for a while, it got frustrating fast too.
Because you were really bad at it, Noof. You were really bad at it.
Oh, come on now.
Noof, where are you going? Stop running that way. Noof, seriously. Get back here.
It's like playing Halo with Paul.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
Shots fired. Pew, pew, pew.
All right, so we definitely got a big thumbs up from Wilmy. He was super excited for it. What about the Wilmy, like to you? Like, is there anything that really stands out to you that maybe makes it a little higher on your radar? Because it's vampires, so we don't see a ton of vampire games. But was there something particular about this game that kind of reached out and grabbed you?
It reminded me of the original Borderlands. If you remember how much fun everybody had with the original Borderlands doing co-op, that's kind of what this reminded me of. Because Borderlands, in my opinion, kind of lost their way at some point. And it just got too repetitive.
Yeah,
But this kind of reminded me of the original Borderlands. And you throw in the vampires, all the different weapons and the loot. It spoke to me, dude. That's what I'm really, that's the one game I really was looking forward to at the show. I mean, that's the one that really had my attention the entire time. Because like I said, Hi-Fi didn't do it for me. Forza, started to move the needle. And Minecraft, of course, didn't faze me at all. But this one really, really did.
Good.
So I'm looking forward to May.
May it is for Wilmy.
And thank you, Splendiferous.
Yes, he drops a super chat. And, it makes sense for Scrub to read this one out. Go ahead, Scrub.
Splendiferous with the $2 super chat says, Wilmy is a smart man. Listen to that guy, Noof. Just saying.
Don't let the accent fool you. Everybody in the South isn't stupid.
So did I have to read that because the emoji was a brown man? So it matched?
Well, I think Splendiferous is a brown man.
I know, I'm just joking.
But no, I wanted you to read it because Axel normally does them in you. You always guys read the super chats. You got the smooth voice, Scrub. That's why we get
Thank you.
Yeah. But anyway, shots fired at Noof. Who wants to jump in here next? Obviously, I'm seeing a little more excitement for Redfall. Scrub, how do you feel about it?
Oh yeah. I definitely like it. I like when a game, instead of just following everybody else on who does this way, we're going to do the same thing, but put a new overlay. I like when games can try to take the best from different games, different genres, and make something of their own. I mean, I'm seeing, like Wilmy said, with Borderlands, having some of that fun. You have that four player co-op. Also, you can loan her if you want to, but then how you go to the towers and free different sections gives you a little of that Far Cry vibe. I'm interested to see how the gunplay is, how you use your different effects with your different abilities. I like the fact as well, when you have 4 people, somebody might have a character that they have built up and they have perfected the way they play that character. But then when they go to co-op, only one person can be that character, and you might be left out and trying to have to learn another character. So I like the fact that you can have multiple of the same character if y'all want to, and still go fight the vampires that way. And then that just gives you a different way of playing the game, and everybody's happy with what they like in their own comfort zone. I know Back 4 Blood, you didn't do that. Everybody had to pick one of the 4, and that's what you were stuck with. Whoever clicked on the one first, that's what you had. Also, I liked how they were showing like the different zones where you could go to and sit there and take out that blood heart or whatever, almost like raids, different things of that nature. So they have a lot in there. I like the humor that's with the game. I like the way they have the animation. I think it is. They did black people hair correctly. That's another big thing that I always like to see, because most games, the hair looks like trash. It's just like an afterthought, and it looks like they actually took the time on that as well. So when I see that, a lot of times in games, that lets me know that you're about details. You're about trying to, when you take the time to work on hair instead of everybody being an afro or a bald head. So it looks good. It looks fun. I'm definitely day one. Because it's Game Pass. I know too, they say if you buy like the pre-order whatever edition, that they might have some characters later on that gets added to it. If I remember correctly.
2 additional characters.
Right, 2 additional characters. So, if you can play it day one, if you want to purchase it day one, you don't have to wait for it to be cheaper. I'm just saying, we got time. We got time to save up for it. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I was just looking at.
You never know. You might get
Canadian.
gifted.
Yeah,
you might get gifted. You never know.
You never know.
This game's going to be good. I think I have more hype on it, other than some of the other games that folks might have thought was going to be like that. Folks talking about Back 4 Blood or Outriders. I think this is a different situation.
Gotcha. Absolutely. Let's hopefully they handle it. It is from Arcane. Let's go with Eternal Shaddai. Shaddai, what is your takeaway on Redfall? Are you excited or not? Can you wait to jump in? And again, is this a bonus that is from Arcane, or do you think Arcane itself could be part of the holdback on this game? Because, they made the Dishonored series, which some people love. And their last shooter was obviously Death Proof, which came out and got a ton of love, at least critically, but some people hated the game. I don't know, I don't have enough experience with Arcane's titles, so the mechanics, are they just going to lift the mechanic from the old games, or maybe they tighten up to feel a little bit more like most modern shooters? What do you think?
I think it's going to be probably a combination of all of them that they have created into one game. So I wouldn't be surprised that whatever formula Arcane have done and it actually worked in the past should be implemented on this one, on Redfall. Am I looking forward to it? Yeah, but it's not going to be one of those day one for me. Because...
okay, I don't like him anymore.
No, because I'll tell as
solitary
much,
confinement.
No, as much as people is trying to say no, it does not look like Left 4 Dead, whatever. They're lying to themselves, because it does have implementation of that. Just because it got vampires, it doesn't mean anything. It could be ogres, and it's still gonna feel the same. It's still gonna be feeling the same. So yeah, because come on now.
Why do I get the feeling, Eternal, you need something that sucks anyway?
Listen, they could say,
who's fooling who if you think that it looks like Left 4 Dead? Who's fooling who at this point? Seriously. I mean, no.
It is Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood. You could put Dead Island, Dying Light. It's still the same.
You just said you hope they pull a little bit of everything of what they do, and then you bitch and moan that it's going to have some of the Left 4 Dead stuff in it.
It's not about no. If
Roll denied.
I think he said everything that Arcane does.
Yes, that is correct, Terry. That is correct. She nailed it. No, so, Paul, I think your food is getting cold. I think you're off. I think your food is getting cold. I think you got to pay attention to your food.
I think you're way off on this whole.
I am not off because the first thing I could actually play the video right now, the trailer, and it still feel like Left 4 Dead. It does not matter.
It doesn't.
That's okay, Paul. We only got to put up one for one more week.
Look, if you go forward, stop, kill a wave of stuff. Go forward, stop, and kill a wave of stuff.
Yep.
And it's freaking Left 4 Dead.
It's Left 4 Dead. No matter. It's Left 4 Dead. The only thing that I hope that they change it is in the presentation they had one person in one city and the other person had in another city. Yes, you could say they were showing different characters, different powers, whatever. But if they had a mission that let's say we need to go to this power plant, but I have to go to this office, which is connected to the power plant. I could play with Terry, but Terry got to go to the power plant, but I got to stay to the office because I got to look for whatever the case may be. I would love that because the map is big.
You're not going to get that.
Well, actually, it could be something different too on that perspective. You don't need 4 players in one place, but there's times that there's going to be times in a survival that you need that person to go to this specific area to pretty much do that mission too. That is part of it.
It's not open world 4-player co-op. You're not going to get that.
You don't need open world. You don't need open world to do that. There are other games.
It's not.
But if they're trying to say, we're tired, we are actually going to like a competition.
Gears of War did that, where they would split the 4 people up to go here, to go there. I mean, you don't need open world to achieve that.
But not for nothing. If you're trying to go like Far Cry is pretty much big itself, the map. So you could actually have somebody go to one place while the other one goes to another place and then get back together again. That's more of the one that you're saying. Remember, Gears of War is just linear, and then you got to choose. This is an open world that you could actually go anywhere. This is a bad example, but it's like Elden Rings. You could go in the open world, but this person is like somewhere else and you are in another place. It could be made. It can be made. So,
did you play the same version of Elden Ring I did? Because there was none of that.
No, I mean, like, I do have Elden Ring. But I mean, like, if you're like in an open world, you could have the liberty, even in a co-op, have the liberty of having at least your team going to one place while the other one be in another place if the mission requires it. Like, we need this, like I said, this power plant being searched because they have this container, whatever the case may be.
What was it? Was it Extinction or Extraction or the one with the dinosaurs? Like
Extraction.
Yeah, you're a team and you could split off.
Yes, like that. Yes, thank you. Good example. Yes, like that.
Still very limited. You were still very limited in where you could split off to. I mean,
you don't have to have an open world to achieve it.
What it reminds me a lot of is.
But if they're trying to say, it's like like Far Cry, Far Cry itself is a huge map.
No, we're saying elements of like the towers and unlock and save people in this area, and then it becomes
and you gotta call that Far Cry,
which is very much like State of Decay.
Shaddai, I think you're getting too strong of what you want the game to be, and none of us have played the game yet.
No, for me, it's like when they're trying to say open world. Hey,
Who
the
said
meaning
open
of open
world?
world, that means
No,
the map
they
is
haven't
gonna
said
be
open
big.
world.
Who said open
It's not-
world?
They did say open world.
No, they
Didn't
did not.
No, it's
No.
not.
Okay, so I'm sorry then. So I know they say open world.
You know,
Oh,
for Wilmy, for those of us old people, he reminds me of Rosanna Dan on SNL, where he gets off on this big old long rant. Then you go, oh, never mind.
it's not it wasn't a rant.
I do agree with Shaddai though. If they do make it linear, to have it to where you don't have to stay, glued to the hip the entire flipping time. I can agree with that.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. We really do just have to see. I'm waiting for it.
Still,
I can't wait for it.
But still, that's a Left 4 Dead clone and Back 4 Blood clone. Still the same.
All right. Let's get our final two takes on this. CerebralPaul and then Terri. Paul, Redfall, you down?
I'm down. In fact, I'm hoping day one I can be down with Wilmy. We can group up and go shoot some vampires. So, yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, apparently you roll off in different directions, though.
But it does. It to me, some of it has that State of Decay feel where you have to go where their nest is and destroy the nest. That's very much out of State of Decay. And so and they may let you separate, but I don't know how far they're going to let you separate. Like if you play State of Decay, it rubber bands you back to the host if you get too far away. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see how they do it. I do like the fact that being a single player is an option in the game. If you either don't or want to.
If you have no friends.
If you have no friends. Or you're not in the same. Or you're not.
You're antisocial.
No,
you don't play well with others.
No, Wilmy knows. When you're trying to line groups up to play, if you want to play through, it can be very difficult.
It will be, yeah. That's the bad part. When you're adults, timing is a little more difficult.
I primarily play co-op, so it's tough to getting people in sync. But no, but still.
So yeah, I'm personally looking forward to it. I think it looks like a lot of fun. The more I see about it, the more fun it looks. And it, unlike like Left 4 Dead and stuff, it seems like it really has a story going to it, so you're going to get to know the characters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just going to be you get to play the smart ass teenager, you get to play the tech savvy old dude. It's going to be they're actually going to have stories built around them.
Right.
So that to me that looks a little more interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we hope that if this IP comes out and does do very well, and it gets an audience, and especially an audience that sticks around, then perhaps they have a new IP that has some legs, and we'll probably see some sequels to it. But I guess we'll just have to wait. Time will tell. So, good stuff. Lastly, Terri, how about yourself? Where does this fall on your radar? Excited at all, or is this kind of a?
We've talked about this a couple times on this show. It's not on my radar. I'm just not into this style of game. I hate vampires in general, so it's just nothing that I have any interest in.
Wilmy's not going to come back on the show anymore.
Okay, that was it?
Literally, I have nothing to say about it. Like, I don't want to play it. The fact that it's going to be on Game Pass, I'm still not going to play it. There it is.
Okay, well, there you go. Straight into the point. The lady's just not interested. The vampires do not get her going. So she's not a Twilight fan.
I'm not either.
Okay.
That's why I'm going to play it.
Just in case, I just send the link and it actually says Redfall is an open world single player and co-op FPS.
Hey, Wilmy, they should make some kind of a mod for it where you actually get to shoot the cast of Twilight.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That'd be awesome.
The characters, we must say the characters, not the cast.
The vampire sparkling.
Yeah. All the vampires from different movies come into this game. You get like Lestat and all them guys from the old
Fright
Interview
Night,
with the Vampire. What?
Salem's Lot.
Yeah, they're all coming in. That'd be hilarious. Oh my god.
All right. But hey, you guys brushed over Shaddai. He did find it directly from Xbox themselves. It is an open world game. So he was right.
Woohoo! Thank you.
But But it may
Open
limit how
city
far
game,
you
isn't
can. It may limit how
But
far you
Oh,
can.
but
shouldn't be like
don't
State of
move
Decay.
the goalpost, Paul.
No, that's
Hey,
what I
don't
said from the beginning. That's what I
They
said
have
from the
been
beginning.
right.
Remember,
That's what I
today's
said from the
Sunday. There's
beginning.
football. There's a lot
You
of goal
literally called
posting.
him out, Paul, and said, "Who said it was open world?" You literally called
No,
him out.
but
And,
even I said that.
There
no,
you
even
go.
I,
Thank you.
Hey,
and now
even-
you're moving the goalpost.
No.
man.
Yeah.
no, because
Today's
even I said
football.
that. But I said if it's open world, you're probably not going to be able to run over to the other side of the map to do something. There are reasons.
But
that
they showed
logistically
it.
that's
But they
difficult
showed
to
it
do.
in the presentation.
Oh my
Two
God,
different
they did
characters on two different cities.
You
Okay,
can
it may be
have
open world, but he still sucks at life. Moving on.
they can, dude, because you're going to
Definitely,
be in two different. Because you're going to in different parts of the game. You're going to be in two different parts, and the characters.
Right. It doesn't necessarily
It doesn't
mean that y'all
mean-
are split up.
Yeah.
That means
No,
that
but
means that they're showing you different characters and their
I
different.
knew you
skill
was gonna
levels.
say that.
So,
I knew.
So they're going to
And I'm
show
prepared for that.
different
That's what
It's
areas.
a
was.
presentation, but at the same time, you
Yes,
could
a presentation.
interpret that if there's a
You
possibility.
can't.
No.
That you interpret
Well,
that.
I think there's still a possibility because no one has said that you're going to have a tether. No one has said that.
Yep, exactly.
still
Thank
possible.
you. Oh my God! Finally, Terry and I were on the same page. Thank you.
Terry, you might want to rethink your thought.
It is the end of the
I'm
world.
not going to rethink my thought because no one knows anything. So
Yep,
anything
there
is
you go.
possible
Thank you.
until you
Well,
play it.
Wait.
I know. I know.
Until the
some things.
developers
Smile
flat
on
out
this.
say so.
No, I know some
All right.
things.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. Oh my goodness.
Get that
Terry
straight,
up
get
there
back
pulling
on.
an Ash and Luca with bringing out the receipts here.
No.
All right, so I'm sorry. Until I played it myself, or the developers have said something. Everything is opinion at this point.
Yeah.
We want Terry.
Alrighty. Well,
Finally, I won
for the
something.
most part,
Usually, I lose.
For the most part, it seems like the
That's a
reception is
telling
positive.
fact.
People are excited for Redfall. I will definitely give it a try at some
It's
point.
probably
Just
telling
might-
fact.
may or may not be day one. But anyway, let's get ready to close the show as we narrow in on the 2-hour mark. Let's get our amazing and esteemed guest, Mr. Wilmy Hood, out of here. Wilmy, you've got a podcast later on tonight. Let people know where they can catch you and check out that amazing cast of characters and lots of great takeaways.
Well, it was good to be here, Noof. We finally got everything worked out. I got to meet Terry, and I've affirmed I don't like Shaddai. I got to annoy Paul, so that made it well worthwhile.
Yeah, always
And,
fun. Yeah.
Of course, Scrub Nurse will be on the show with me tonight because he's one of my panel's members.
Yes, sir.
But you can catch me tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern on Gaming Beyond the Box here on YouTube. And don't worry, I end the show so we can go watch The Last of Us. We
Yes.
will not run over at 9 o'clock. I am watching Last of Us. I don't care who's in the chat, who we've got as a guest. We are out of the studio by 8:45
Even
because
Phil.
I have got to watch The Last of Us or my wife will shoot me. And I have been happily married 25 years and I do not do anything to piss my wife off. Or you can actually find me on Xbox, PlayStation, and Twitter. Just look for Wilmy Hood. I also have a page on Facebook for whoever still goes to Facebook. And you can find me on Steam. Same name. And that's about it.
Well, there you go, guys. I told you Wilmy would not disappoint, and yes, he definitely is right about that. He will shut the show down. So don't.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I can't miss The Last of Us, dude. I'm
Me neither.
all in.
No, I jokingly
no,
said that the
that
first
whole
week.
story.
I pointed out the first week that they did Last of Us on this show. I pointed out, yeah, if it's time for the show to start, even somebody's talking, all of a sudden it'll just stop.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, hey, I've got life's busy, man. When you get old, dude, I've got a lot of
Yep.
things to do. So that's just the way it works.
Yep.
And Scrub Nerds, as he just mentioned, you are a panel member on Gaming Beyond the Box, so let people know about that show and anything else you got coming up.
Yeah, like Wilmy said, 76 Central, we're going to have some fun. You can also find me here. Of course, you're here, so you know I'm here on Sunday mornings, but then also on Twitter, Scrub Nurse 3. If you want to see anywhere else I am, you can find it below in the description. Like I said, I did Hi-Fi Rush. I did 2 hours of gameplay that I posted the first 2 hours of gameplay on my Twitch channel. So you can find that on Scrub_Nurse. So I'm about to run. It's always good. Love the talk in the chat. It was very lively. We had some fun. Don't forget to always share it out or hit the like button at least. or join the channel if you'd like to. So we're always good to have everybody in here. Loved having the banner with the panel. It's always a good time. So about to head out. I will see you guys later. Y'all have a good day. Check y'all later.
All right. Let's move the needle and get over to Eternal Shaddai. Make sure you guys come out and check out next week's podcast. Should be a dynamite show as always, and it could be the Eternal Shaddai's last one with this particular panel for at least a while. So anyway,
I thought after today this was his last one. I mean, I'm just saying.
No, I think he's going to
February
do it next
5th.
week, correct?
February 5th.
Next Sunday. So go ahead, Shaddai. Sounds like you're finally going to get out of prison then.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you everybody for taking your time watching us doing this podcast. Finally, I won at least one freaking debate. Usually I lose it, but thank you. I appreciate it for your visit. People can find me at Eternal Shaddai, as you see here in the screen. Write that down. Find me on Twitter. That's the same thing for Xbox Console. Also, I'll be streaming on Twitch. It's called ETESHADDAI. Yesterday I was streaming Dead Space Remake and also Hi-Fi Rush. Both games are really cool. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday.
All right. Thanks for that, Shaddai. We will see you next week. All righty. We got CerebralPaul. You're always a busy man. Like I said, you got some stuff coming up today. Go get your breakfast or whatever you got out there and let people know what you got coming up next.
Yep, on the Xbox Ambassador channel in about an hour and a half, I will be doing a play date. We're playing Fortnite, the big team battle crap, not the regular 4-on-4 crap. And then on Monday, I have my regular show, Gaming Differently with CerebralPaul, where I will be playing Hi-Fi Rush. Tuesdays, I have gaming, not Gaming After Dark Week. Don't do that anymore. Retro Renegades. On Thursdays, I have 4GQ TV. I'm a busy person. And on Wednesday, I'm doing an interview with the writer, producer, director of Scare Package 1 and 2 from Shudder.
Nice.
I thought Wilmy might be interested in knowing about that. So I'll be recording that on Wednesday afternoon and will be released soon after.
Awesome. Well, maybe you should send Wilmy a link on that one just in case he's not aware.
Actually, I was going to ask him if he's going to be around that day, if he wants to join us, but I think he works during the day like real people. So.
Yes, perhaps he does. Alrighty, and again, you guys are chat. You're amazing. Speaking of amazing, Terri, always a great show when you're on. Again, another great indie spotlight, and let people know what you got coming up next.
All right, everyone. You can go ahead and pretty much just check out my YouTube. That's mostly where you're going to see actual content being made for me when I'm not, here on the podcast. So it's a Coolcat's Alley. I just posted a video yesterday of me replacing my valve cover gasket on my car. So go ahead and check that out if you like car stuff. Otherwise, go check out my Twitter, Coolcat_Terri, and you'll have plenty of gaming stuff there. I usually do a lot of retweeting when it comes to indie stuff, so that way you can kind of get introduced to things that don't get enough spotlight as it is. So check that out. And then, of course, my Instagram, CoolcatTerri, like you see right here on the screen.
Absolutely. And all the information is listed down below in the YouTube description, and I'll have a link to the social media coming right up here. Once again, another Dynamite show. Thanks to our panel and to our incredible guest, Wilmy Hood. Go check them out again tonight at Gaming Beyond the Box over on Wilmy Hood's channel. You'll see the links and stuff, again, if you follow them online and social media. Again, good show from Xbox. Thank you for all that. You chat. You guys are awesome. Too many people to obviously to shout out again before we end the show, but you guys are amazing. Redfall, thanks again, especially to you. Doggy Dog, some of the loyal faithful at Casket Repair, Jesse Darby, Splendiferous, Dizzy Delta, and so on and so forth. Guys, like I said, there's too many of you to sit here and name, but you are amazing. You make this show what it is. And again, spread the word, because I just want to say before I end off here that there's a lot of people out there that just have the wrong idea about NewfNukem, and I think a lot of it stems from my hard stance on Game Pass, that they think that I'm this guy that just can't stand Xbox. And if you've seen my Xbox collection, if you know how much money I've spent on Xbox, I'm harder on Xbox, not because I do it for clicks or likes or bullshit. I'm harder on Xbox because I love the brand so much. This is the reason why I'm a little more critical. I don't care, as I said in the past, what Sony or Nintendo do, because I don't really care for their brand as much. Does that make any sense to anybody? I mean, sure, I love playing in the other platforms, but I'm just making it clear that I'm an Xbox guy first and foremost. That's why I have a podcast on Sunday mornings at 7 called Good Morning Xbox. I don't call it Good Morning Xbox and come in here and spend 2 hours crapping on the platform. Okay? So I want people to make that very, very clear. Just because I don't like the way Xbox perhaps runs their business model doesn't mean I hate them. It just means that's just something I didn't like. I liked how they did things during the 360 era. That means I'm an old fossil or I'm harder to please? Absolutely. But that's just me. That's who I am. It's in my DNA, and that's the way I roll. So I just wanted to make it clear because I take out a lot of shots all the time, and I just don't think that people understand who I am and certainly don't understand my content. If they came out and actually listened to a Good Morning Xbox podcast or watched one, perhaps they would know that NewfNukem is not some hard-ass, well, I do it for the clickbait. Do I ever have clickbait titles? Do I ever do shit for the shits and giggles? No, I don't run that way. That's not my channel. Kudos to those who want to do it. That's up to them, but it's not me. I just wanted to make that very clear. So to those of you who have stuck by me through the thick and thin, have stuck by my podcast, have supported my panel members, thank you from the bottom of my heart. That's all I can say. At the end of the day, we're all gamers. We do the same thing. We all have preferences, and that will never change. It's in cards, it's in movies, it's in sports. That's what makes us who we are. But we all play games. We enjoy them. And like I said, I take pride in the fact that at least most of the time I speak from the heart, and I'm honest about it. So anyway, I won't ramble any longer. Let's close the show. Thank you guys for the love and support. You guys are amazing. And we'll see you on the next one. So again, thanks everybody, and again, we'll see you next week. So here we go.